Hey everyone, it's yazmint here. Here with the first episode of Not So Perfect. I'll be honest, I had started writing a script for this video, not, something fake, but just to kind of get my thoughts together. And then I had stopped writing because I realized that this has to come from the heart. And the whole reason I started this was because I wanted to do just that. I wanted to be honest, and I wanted to share my experiences because, you never know who it could help and who it could change. So for this episode, you could title it Relationship with God. So on Saturday, October 28th, I was baptized as an adult. Now, to give you some insight, I was baptized as a baby. I was raised in the Catholic religion. Now, I have made my mistakes as everyone does. I've sinned as others do. But, this was important for me because it was my rededication, but not only as an adult, but, truly being conscious about the decision that I'm making. Because let's be serious, when you're baptized as a kid or, as an infant, you're not making that choice. Your parents are, or your family is. And this was very important for me. I was gracious enough that my family members were there and they were able to witness it. And I was able to do this with my husband as well. And I'll attach a video at the end of this if you'd like to watch that. But really why I wanted to make this the first episode was because, I prayed on this video that I could be honest and I could just speak from the heart and, let God speak through me and everything. And my relationship with God hasn't been perfect by any means. It's been a roller coaster of emotions. I tell everybody, and I talk to my husband about this a lot, but I was closest with God when my grandfather was alive. Now, my grandfather died in my sophomore year of high school. And let's just say I made a lot of decisions that I don't necessarily regret because it's made me learn a lot now. And it's been able to carry me on now that I've, renewed myself and been able to just kind of learn from all of the lessons that I've been through. But, I think about God and I think of, my grandfather and my family who, were always telling me to pray, and I never really understood why that was important. I never really understood, even being in Sunday school and even doing my my sacraments in the Catholic religion. I just never understood I guess the value is the best way to say that. It's like, I saw other people doing it, but I didn't really understand what it meant to have a relationship with God. I never understood it. I never looked into it. I really didn't read the Bible, and it's not until now that I'm starting to read it. And, for those out there that, are interested in beginning and have nowhere to start, it was like, if you, I'm not sure about Androids, but on iPhones, if you download the Bible app, there's guided prayers, there are videos, there are communities that you can join and just learn from if you have nowhere to start, which was and still is very helpful for me because I wasn't necessarily raised on the Bible. I was raised on praying from the heart. I was raised on, more spirituality than anything. So now being my own adult, living with my husband, us here, and having our own household, it's been a journey trying to figure out how we want our household to run and what that exactly wants to look like. So really, I'm just here to kind of tell my story and show others that, you don't have to be lost forever. You just have to make a decision. And, that decision can't be tomorrow. It has to be today. It has to be as soon as you possibly can when you're truly focusing on your future and what you want. So, And again, not everybody has the same faith, and I completely respect that. I mean, if you don't, if you're watching this video and you don't necessarily agree with the things that I'm saying, then just keep scrolling. It doesn't have to be what you believe in, but this is personally my opinion and what I feel will help others. And again, I'm just letting God speak through me, because I have thoughts and opinions as everyone else does, but we're human, and as a human, I can be honest and say that I've made a lot of mistakes. I haven't made always the right decisions, and in fact, I've made a lot of selfish decisions. And as much as I am selfless now and try to help everyone around me and try to take care of people around me, I can't say that I've always made the right decision. And in all honesty, if I was perfect, then I wouldn't have learned anything. If I was perfect, then I wouldn't have the stories to share now to help other people so that they don't make the same mistakes. So really what this first episode is just telling you my journey. So, I had mentioned that my grandfather passed away in my sophomore year of high school. And he was the man of faith. He walked in his faith, and he wasn't perfect by any means either, but he knew that God was the ultimate source of everything. You're lost, you have a question, you ask God. You need help figuring out how to get through something, you ask God. And I learned this from church yesterday, but what's the benefit of doing anything good if it's not in the name of Jesus, if it's not in the name of God? Like, what you're basically doing a good deed for yourself by that point. You're not doing it for the greater good. You're not doing it for, let's say you don't necessarily believe in God, you're not doing it for the higher entity, you're doing it for yourself. So, there's nothing wrong with focusing on yourself, so to speak, but I feel like people don't necessarily do that with the intention of bettering their community or bettering other people. They just want to, improve their livelihood versus improving themselves. So with that being said, when it comes to the faith, after my grandfather died, I was lost. I just wanted to get through life. I just wanted to get through high school. I was always surrounded by a lot of drama, and I can't say that was anybody else's fault but my own. Didn't want to listen to nobody else. I wanted to blaze my own trail and make my own decisions. Ended up repeating a lot of decisions that I didn't have to because of just pride. And that's fine. I mean, again, I'm here and I'm able to share my testimony as everyone else can. But it wasn't up until August of 2022. I think it was August. But regardless, for those of you in the medical field, I have a medical background, by the way, that know what an endoscopy is. So I had one done. I've had a lot of health problems throughout the years. Been in and out of doctor's offices trying to figure everything out, but I'm healthy now, I'm prospering. I mean, I still have my problems here and there, but I don't make it the main focus of my life anymore. So regardless, I was having an endoscopy done, and I had stopped breathing midway through the procedure. All I can remember is, and I don't talk about this part of it a lot, but the stop breathing part is what everybody focuses on, but this is what I focus on. I just remember waking up. I remember waking up to a bright light. I'm pretty sure you can see my reflection with the Ring camera. Just imagine just waking up to a bright hospital light, or if you have an urgent care, those lights are bright. Just imagine waking up to a light like that, but being so confused. For me, it was lack of oxygen in those few moments. So I woke up very confused, and just brightness is all I saw. So me having the background and being raised in the religion, I thought it was it for me. I thought that was, people say that when they die they go to the light, right? And I honestly thought that was it. I thought it was my time. I've been sick a lot. I've been, going through a lot. I've been in a bad mental space. At that time I was like, that's it for me. I'm leaving my family behind. I'm leaving everyone behind. It wasn't up until that I was able to focus, because when I woke up, the nurses weren't around me yet. It wasn't up until they heard me rustling around and looking around that, you know, they came towards me, and I swear it looked like they had seen a ghost. Because it doesn't happen a lot, you know, it happens in the medical field, but it doesn't happen like that, especially not in an outpatient center. So outpatient, by the way, if you don't know what that is, you know, you basically just go home after whatever procedure you have done. Maybe, you know, after you wake up from anesthesia, as soon as they declare that you're stable, you know, you go home. So in an outpatient center, that usually doesn't happen a lot. So, you know, waking up to this bright light, I thought it was over. And then as soon as like I start to focus and realize, you know, at first, you know, it was hard to believe that I was still alive, because it felt like my heart had reset. And like, even when you hear me now, like, it's hard for me to speak up. It's hard for me to talk, or, you know, I make my music, so I sing, and, you know, breathing along with having asthma is still hard, you know. It's weird. It doesn't feel the same. It doesn't, you know, my body doesn't, it doesn't like, I guess it just like reset when that happened. So in that moment, I'm like, you know, I still can't tell whether I'm alive or not. I don't know what's going on. So, you know, I remember this so clearly, but I look beside me, and like the breathing bag that they use for emergencies was just right next to my head. Like I was like literally laying against it. So I saw that, you know, the monitors and everything. I was hooked to everything. And then the doctor comes in, and, you know, he had a very like, you know, somber face. And I was like, you know, like what's going on? Because like there's multiple nurses around me. There's the doctors around me at that point. And they're just trying to make sure I'm okay now. And the doctor's like, well, you know, Ms. Torres, we had to inform you that you did stop breathing during procedure. We weren't able to complete it. This is what we were able to do. Now pause there. So the reactions were one thing, and the realization of the fact that I'm still alive and here today is another thing. But I honestly just think it kills me that, you know, he was able to tell me, and that's, you know, that's great that he was able to get it out. But I also think like, I feel like it was a more of a sensitive thing than just, oh, she just stopped breathing during the procedure. So that's another topic for another day. But regardless, my mom happened to be in the waiting room, so all I was thinking about was her. All I was thinking about is she okay? Is my family okay? Like, do they know? And everything. And that was a whole process throughout the whole day. As people, you know, people in the family started to find out what happened. And it was scary. And from then on, it's like that day I was like very like, I don't know if delusional was the right word, but I was just joking about it and didn't really take it seriously. And over, you know, the few months and, well, now a year, you know, it's been a journey realizing that, you know, that was God, that was me, you know, ignoring the fact that God was telling me that it wasn't my time yet. It was not my time yet. You know, I still have a purpose here on this earth. Now, it wasn't up until a few months ago that I realized what that purpose was. But in all honesty, for me, it's a number of things. And again, I'll touch on that in a different video, a couple of videos actually. But, you know, I just want to kind of summarize this up that, like, for these videos, this is my way of, or one of the ways that I'm trying to get my purpose out there. You know, I've written 2 books. I've written one on PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome. A lot more women have it than people think. But because there wasn't a lot of research on it prior to 10 years ago, it's becoming more of a thing now. So it's not just, you know, like a hashtag of hashtag I have this. It's a real condition that women have, and it's not the easiest thing in the world. So with that being said, these videos are planned for the most part as what I want to talk about, like the broad like title of it, but everything that I'm sharing now is just coming straight from here. Like there's nothing scripted. I tried, you know, writing something just to kind of organize my thoughts, and even like God was like, no, that's not happening. You need to talk, just talk. So with that being said, I know that this video is 15 minutes long, but if you have made it towards, you know, the end of this video, I just want to end with this. My relationship with God has been all over the place, and truthfully, up until Saturday has been non-existent. You know, I've been really negative towards reading the Bible. I've been really negative towards listening and paying attention. Like, I was always one that paid attention to like my environment. So like, you know, I was very conscious of like the wind blowing and the leaves falling and how the seasons change and how the weather changes and stuff like that. And, you know, I always considered myself spiritual, but I never considered myself a Christian up until I declared myself prior to Saturday. Saturday was my outward declaration of being a Christian and being reborn as a Christian. And again, if you don't identify with that, that's fine. But you never know if this video could be for you. You never know if this video could be for someone else. So if you're watching this and you've made it to the end, I appreciate you hearing, you know, my testimony. And, you know, if you think somebody could benefit from this, if you don't think you could benefit from it, that's one thing. But if you think somebody else could, just share it. Share it. That's all you have to do. And in all honesty, you know, with that story being out there, you know, I'm just really, what my point is getting across is that you can be lost, but you really just have to make a decision. And I made my decision, and I couldn't have been happier since then. I'm more at peace. I feel at peace. I'm able to actually enjoy life around me and actually see fully in color instead of seeing everything so black and white. So, you know, in all honesty, having a relationship with God not only saved me, but it opened my eyes. It opened my mind. It opened me to a whole new world, a part of this earth that I didn't know existed. So with that being said, I hope you've enjoyed the video, and look out for the next episodes to come. As of right now, there's still only 10 planned, but we will see how that goes as time goes on. And again, I do have 2 books out there, so kind of more of where my testimony is at. And truthfully, I wrote those books before I declared myself to Christ, so they're different. They're from you know, the old part of me that thought a little bit differently, but even then still can apply and help people out there. So I'll attach that link down below in the description. Make sure to like and subscribe on this video, and comment below if there's anything you'd like me to talk about. Peace.
Hi everyone, I'm Yasmin. I'm here as an adult wanting to get rebaptized and rededicate myself to Christ.
Yeah, so you confess with your mouth and believe in your heart that Jesus Christ is your Lord and Savior.
I do.
I now baptize you in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Yeah.